excited for today, like so excited. I'm shaking with excitement. Not only are we going to the bookstore today, which you guys can obviously tell from the title, but we are also going to the bookstore in New York City, which is just so fun. The sun is finally shining and I feel like we're finally getting into the spring weather, like officially. But not only are we going to New York City to go book shopping, but we are also meeting up with a few friends that you have definitely seen before. If you've watched my Tennessee vlog, you've met all the girls before. They'll all be here except for Jordan. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to make it, but everyone else will be meeting me in New York City to celebrate my birthday and go book shopping with me. So I am just over the moon. I cannot wait, literally cannot wait. It's gonna be a long day, I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna wear sneakers today because I was like, you know what? Every time I go to New York City, I walk like 5 miles, but we're gonna be wearing some Doc Martens. You can't see them now, but visualize. All right, enough talking, we gotta go catch this train. But first we have to thank today's sponsor, which is Universe. Universe is a really cool drag and drop app that allows you to create websites, completely personalize them, and make your own .com. Now, personally, my favorite thing about Universe is the fact that you have so much creative freedom. You can change all the fonts, the color, any kind of design you can think of, you can make. I also love that you can use it on any device, so you can work on your phone, and then if you have to travel, you can use it on your computer or your tablet, literally anything. And last but not least, I really like that you can use AI if you want. So like maybe there's an idea that you wouldn't have thought of before, or another way to market something that you're selling or talk about something you love. Having AI allows you to have that extra creative soundboard to create other things that maybe you wouldn't have if you didn't have it. I also think it's really cool that if you're in the US, you can use the Universe sell block that allows you to sell your creations in minutes. And you can also use the download block to sell digital items as well. But don't worry, if you're not in the US, you can always use their PayPal block, and that's literally for anyone, and that allows you to accept payments for any of your creations. Now, Universe is generally free, but you can make the jump to Universe Pro that removes Universe branding, allows you to have the ability to make your own custom .com domain, get access to menu styling that's custom, as well as code block and the ability to make discount codes. Plus, with Universe Pro, you do get a lower flat 5% transaction fee, and there's no hidden fees, allowing for quicker payouts. Now, you can use the first link in my description box that will allow you to have 25% off your first year of Universe Pro, or you can just use the second link in my description box that allows you to try out Universe, and of course that is free. Thank you again, Universe, for sponsoring this portion of the video. Also, do you like my hair? It's giving sophisticated New York City woman. Taxi, taxi. Oh, these nails? Yeah, they were just $5,000. Guess who finally made it to New York? I had the struggle of a lifetime trying to get here. Like literally, I don't know what happened. Like I had an hour before my train came, and all of a sudden I was 10 minutes late. So I was like,
but I've been learning that's like me. Like for me, I'm late to everything. I hate that.
Yes.
But you just never know here. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's so true.
So do you have to like leave super early to get everywhere?
I did, because like I lived 10 minutes from the train station.
Okay, don't tell us.
No, it's literally me.
Well, like-
It's literally me. Like, I live 10 minutes from the train station. I could have been here. Like, I could have parked where I usually park and been fine. But no, I left a little later than I should have. Then I had to run to one of the other train stations to make sure I caught that train.
No!
The next one was coming in an hour. I'm like, I cannot miss
Yeah.
this train. So I went to another train station. And I didn't know their parking like rules. And now my car's there. And then on the sign it said like, if you leave your car, because I was gonna stay in New York because she like let me stay here in her hotel room, and I was gonna stay. But then it said if you keep your car overnight, they're gonna tow it. So I'm like, oh my
Yeah, you're like,
god,
let's not let that.
yeah, exactly. And I didn't have time to go back to my usual one because I would have missed the train. So I was like, I just need to figure this out. So now we're finally here.
We made
I
it.
feel like every time we do a bookstore vlog in New York City, I have some type of like tragedy.
Yes,
on the
last
train
time didn't something
station.
happen too?
Yes, I missed the train and I lost my phone. If you guys remember, I think it's like I'm always blaming it on the situation. I'm like, wait, the common factor is me.
Me, hi, I'm the problem is me.
I'm the common denominator. So I'm learning that about myself and realizing, you know what, I just need to plan better and try to like make sure I get to my train station on time. Like bare minimum, the car's on the floor.
Start there, I love it.
Exactly. But we just finished eating brunch. It was so nice. The food was so good.
The hot chocolate.
Oh my god, the hot chocolate was so good.
So creamy, like
Yes, and so chocolatey. It was
Yes.
amazing.
Not over sweet though. It's perfect.
Not over
It literally is
yeah,
perfect.
exactly. Everything was like
Yeah.
just like that. But now we're gonna go to the bookstore. We're gonna go to the Strand actually, which I'm so excited about. We've never, none of us have ever been. Yeah, and it's one of the oldest bookstores here in New York City, so I'm very, very excited. And they have this thing where you can do like a date with a book type of thing, and so they don't tell you what the book is, but they tell you like the overall vibe of it, and then you get to pick it out. And I'm very excited about that because I want to pick books that I've never read before.
Yes, or that no one's talked about either.
Exactly.
It's
Or like I wouldn't have picked for myself.
Yes,
yes,
yeah.
exactly. So I'm very, very excited about that. And I just want to see what we pick out. I want to see what everyone
I
picks
know,
out.
right?
Yeah.
I'm excited. Maybe
Yeah.
we could open them all together and
Oh,
see
that would
like.
be so fun.
Yeah,
yes,
that's really good.
yes,
I'm down.
yes, let's do
I'm
that.
down.
Let's do that. I'm excited.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I love used bookstores because I feel like you always find hidden gems.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
stuff
my God,
that,
yeah,
like people don't talk
absolutely.
about that
Yeah.
like no one's hyped up yet. Like
Exactly.
new authors that are just like underground. I'm like, I love that.
Right,
Like,
exactly. And now I think you were mentioning this in one of your other vlogs, but you were saying like you try to stray away from Goodreads when you go to these bookstores. now.
Yes.
And I didn't realize when I go to the bookstore, usually like I always look them up on Goodreads because I'm like I need to make sure it has good reviews.
Yeah.
But then you were saying like sometimes people do it just because it's a popularity thing.
Yes.
Yes, and changing that mindset has allowed me to read books that I've never would have read before, and like I like them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I need to have this
Wow.
mindset
No, that's a
going
good-
in.
But it's so
Yeah.
hard though because I feel like I'll go
It is.
in and like my first instinct is like,
Right.
this is good. Like I don't want to spend my money
No,
on something that's not
absolutely.
good. But
Yeah.
just because it's someone else's good,
Yeah.
as we know from Liz Tomford.
Right. Oh my god, we were talking about that today. Don't get me started.
Like
yes,
Just
I
because
cannot.
everybody else like the
Triggered.
right move or Mile
No.
High
Right,
or whatever.
exactly.
Grant, I didn't read that book, but
You
I
don't.
feel
You're not missing anything.
like
You're
you're
not-
just because
no.
everybody else liked it doesn't mean that we might
Right.
like it.
Exactly.
Like you guys, I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like everybody has a different like interest. So
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I'm excited to see what we find.
Me too. Me too.
you they have amazing books, but they also have really amazing tote bags, and I really want one. I already love this place. There's so many books here. There's so much you can do. I'm trying not to buy 1,000 books, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy 1,000 books. We made it to the pasta making class. I am so excited. It looks so official. Like, look at this. I've never made pasta before and I'm so excited. And I'm starving, so like the fact that we get to make what we eat, I'm excited. Guess who's here? Hi! I miss you so much. And look at the fit. Like, she's not playing around today.
I'm like half naked underneath this. I'm like, should I take this off? I don't know.
There we go. The birthday girl with her birthday apron.
I feel like a mom from like the 50s. I know. It's so cute.
We got so many good books, guys. Well, we don't know if they're good, actually.
Yeah, hopefully. Honestly, hopefully. But we don't know. The wrapping is literally stunning. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean these are my books? Like,
Yeah, we got these blind date with a book things that we showed you guys?
Yes, they're so cute.
What does yours say on the front?
Okay, so this first one says freshly baked slow burn. So it's a rom-com.
Mm.
We love to see it. And then the next one.
Are you in your romance era?
No, absolutely. And it's because like I just got so many good like literary fiction books,
Yes.
but they're very heavy. And I'm like, I need like a break.
Like, I need a break.
Yes, literally. And so for me, like, I don't mind super fluffy, light romances because that's what I need.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Especially
like,
in between those. I feel like sometimes like if you're sobbing your eyes out, it's like
Yes.
that's great, but I can't do that 5 books in a row.
all the time, like literally I would be exhausted. I could not do it. So like that's why I love like the light and fluffy.
Yeah.
And that's why I get why you gravitate towards that because it
Yes.
just makes you feel good.
Yeah, and I feel like it makes me like it's gonna sound bad, but like have so much hope for the world.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
like when I read so many like sad books, like I'm just like, dang.
I know.
Like, life is hard. Life is terrible. Yeah, so like I don't know, the
Literally.
fluffy stuff it is a good balance. in
Yes,
there. What
I
was the other book
completely
that you got outside of
This one?
yeah.
So then I also got College Frenemies Find Love at the Beach.
Ooh.
And that's like my 2 favorite things. I love the beach and I love
Frenemies.
enemies to lovers. Yeah, so I'm very, very excited for this.
I got 2 romance too. I got rom-com with real estate at stake.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
real estate. And then I also got romance to melt your heart. And it
That
has like
looks
a
so
cupcake on
cute.
or something on it.
That looks so cute.
Yeah. What was the other book that you got?
Oh my god, and then I also got Powerless, finally! I've heard so many good things, and
Me
you said
too.
you already have it,
I have it, but I
right?
haven't read it yet.
I'm so
Here,
excited.
let me-
Should
should
we
we
read at the
steal
same
it?
time?
Oh, that would be fun.
Can we actually do that?
We should.
Yes,
Oh my
okay.
god, we should.
All of
Look
March
at
is
that.
so reading. Oh my god, that is so pretty.
Yes.
That is so pretty.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You gotta show them.
Yes. Look, okay.
Like I feel like a lot of books that have like something on the cover, they don't have like something cool on the
Yes,
actual
that is
book.
so true.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
also
this is
love that
pretty.
this girl, like, she started writing this when she was 18.
Wow.
Have you heard her story?
No.
Okay,
Wait, tell me.
So Lauren Roberts,
Mm-hmm.
she started, I'm like so obsessed with like just authors. Like I feel like I know like so many backstories because I just like to like know about their lives.
yeah.
She started this on when she was 18
Mm-hmm.
and she shared the whole writing process on her TikTok. So if you go to her TikTok, you can see like her writing, like editing, all the stuff. She published it, it blew up, and now it's in Barnes and it's everywhere. But she was not
Wow.
planning on having it, like it's her first book ever.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
her
ever?
first book ever. Yeah, she's like our
That's
age. She's not
insane.
our age. She's like your age.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm
That's
like,
incredible.
yeah. So her second book comes out, I want to say in like, I think it's like June. It's the second book to this one, so that's kind
Okay.
of why I want to read this like
Mhm.
fast because
Mhm.
everyone said it's good, and I don't want like the second one to be spoiled.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm like,
That's
I
my
need-
biggest fear.
Yes, like please don't spoil it for me.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I guess we can open these.
I guess so, yeah, hold on. Let
We
me
should read
make
that
I get a
together, though. That would be
thumbnail.
fun.
No, that would be so
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Thumbnail. Work first. Wait, let me see. And if I can have like this in the background, that'd be adorable.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if I can put them on here. Like, look at these covers. They're so cute. I love that they draw these too.
Which one do you think is gonna be the best book? Like
Okay, out of all four of
out of
these
all
blind
four,
books.
which like if you had to pick one to be the best, which one do you think?
So personally, I'm super biased. I love
Okay.
Frenemies,
Okay.
and I love the beach. I love a good summer read. So I feel like this
feel like
one.
it's gonna be that one?
Yes, but I feel like this one's gonna be the next one.
You think? I don't know.
Yes.
See, I'm very weird. I need to see like these look like short books. Okay.
Yeah,
So I feel like if they're short, they're not gonna be good.
that's
Like
true.
I don't know. I like you know if it's like
yeah.
less than 300 pages. I feel
I
like a lot
agree.
of the time they're not that good.
I
This is why I
agree.
think this one's gonna be
Yeah.
really thick.
Yes,
This is
and-
the frenemies one.
exactly, and that's like my favorite genre
Yeah.
too of romance. So I'm like, yeah,
this
definitely.
one might be good because this one's like a nice. This one's bigger than these two. These two are very
I
small.
didn't even think about the size. I was thinking about like what they were saying.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like I was
yes.
thinking like Frenemies on the beach, like that would be a perfect summer
Yes,
read. And it's
I-
just now getting warmer.
And slow burn. Like I was.
I
like,
love
oh,
a
that
slow
looks
burn.
good.
I love a slow burn. So
That's
maybe
what I
even that
almost
one.
got. Ooh, I
Yeah.
yeah. See-through.
So okay, so what is your order? What do you think is going to be like the best?
I genuinely think the best one is gonna be this one that you
Okay.
got. And I also think the second best one is gonna be this one, the one that I put down.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like my two are duds. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying that. Like they could be good. We'll
Now
see.
we have to open them to see.
Okay, which one? Yeah, so one
Okay.
at a time. Like you do one, and then I'll do one.
Okay, so
Or no, why don't we both do one at the same time?
Okay, I think I'm gonna open. Wait, no, this is so pretty. I literally don't want to open it. I think I'm gonna open this one first. Let's see. I wonder if I already have the book. I feel like you're gonna
feel
have
like I
most of
am.
these. Yeah.
Oh, I know what this one is.
Shut up.
Just from the back.
Yeah. Wait, which one was this? Rom-com with real estate. Really?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, I knew what it was from the back, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
This is actually so funny. So I went book shopping with my mom, and I was like, I want you to pick out a book. It was like super funny. Like I shared it on like my channel and stuff. Super fun. And, oh wait, what was yours? I read this one. You don't even like Emily Henry.
Wow.
You didn't like her.
It's going to a free little library. Got played. Wow. I knew
You didn't
it.
like her. That is
And we
hilarious.
both said that was going to be the best one.
Yes, we did, and it's
Completely
not.
wrong.
I think I was just saying that because of size, because it's like thick,
yeah, no,
but
played.
no, nope. But yeah, I went
Wow.
book shopping with my mom, and I was like, pick out a book for me, and she picked out this one. This says
Really?
2 rival candidates for a homeowners association presidency are about to find out how dirty suburbanites fight in this steamy new romantic comedy.
Ooh, I like that.
Sloppy.
And you haven't read it yet. That's really
I haven't.
fun.
I do own it though. Twice because I bought it for myself and then my mom got it for me.
Wow.
I think
Do you already have this?
Oh yeah, I read that
Okay.
one. Mhm.
Did you like it?
I did, yeah. I love Emily Henry.
Wow.
Like I love her. Like
I
don't
genuinely
know.
think it's because it's the 24-hour reading blog.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
you
they're
did say
getting
you
me,
read
yeah.
them in the 24-hour reading log.
Every
Yeah.
single one of the books that I've read from her
They
have been
would
during
be
it.
hard
Yeah.
to read during that time because her books are like they're very wordy.
Yeah, very wordy.
Yeah. So I feel like they could drone on a bit.
Okay, I want to see if you know this from the back.
Yes, that is.
Shut up.
Hold on. That is. It's by Sarah Adams. It's called When in Rome.
I literally only showed her this. How? Let's
That's
see.
what it is, isn't it?
Let me see. Is she right?
Oh my god!
Wow! I've never read this, so I'm actually excited for this one.
I haven't read that one either. I haven't though, but I haven't read it.
Wow. Okay, let's see what it says. So
Not them giving me a
Rose-
Christmas book.
Really? Oh, but it's a Christmas in New York.
Oh right,
That's
this is a
cute.
Winter in New York.
Yeah.
By Josie Silver.
Wow.
I
Do you have
did-
this?
Stop. So I actually gave it to a free little library because I read One Day in December by this author.
Okay, how was that?
Loved it, like so good. Loved
Okay.
it. And this is where like I have a problem. If I hear people like say that they don't like a book that I like know, I'm like, I'm not gonna like it. And I
Same.
might like it, but like I heard someone that like I feel gives good reviews to like books, and she's like pretty honest. She was like, yeah, I didn't like it. It was trash.
Really?
And
Why though? What was the reason?
she said, so the book is pretty much, it strings on a lie. Like the main character, she tells a lie. And I think, what is the lie that she tells? Oh, and you I think see this on the back of the book. She tells this guy that her mom dies or dad dies or something.
That's a crazy lie.
Literally. That's why I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
his mom or dad or somebody had actually just died. Yes, and so
That's
she
even worse.
Yeah, so she said that, or maybe she didn't say he died. I forget. It was something like that. Like she like lied about something, and then she like couldn't get out of the lie.
I don't think I can like a character that can say something.
Who can lie
so
about that?
Crazy.
Yeah, it was
like,
something she like lies about something that's like big like that. I could be wrong,
Wow.
but after that I was like, yeah, I don't know if I like her. Like, I don't think I can read a book about that and feel
Not
like
for
bad
me,
for her.
yeah,
And also,
exactly.
I actually get really like nervous when I read books that are strung on a lie.
Yeah.
Like I start getting nervous.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, someone's gonna find out.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
just tell the truth.
Exactly, literally.
So I just get nervous.
I think with like romance books, I just can't. I don't like stuff that's built on not the truth. Like I
Yes,
just don't.
same.
I don't understand it. I feel
Yeah.
like even if they do get together, what's the point? Like it's not gonna last.
Yeah, because you weren't
like,
honest the whole
yes,
time. They didn't
like-
even know who you were.
Exactly, and it's just like, what was the whole point of the book? And I
Right.
feel like I've almost wasted my time.
Yes.
So like, it's not something that I can leave feeling good about.
Yes,
you
and
know.
you read a whole book about a lie.
Yes,
Yeah.
like what
So
am I
that's-
supposed to take away from that? Like what?
Right. So that's literally why I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this book.
Yeah,
She was
especially
like,
with such an egregious lie.
and
like,
I
that's crazy.
think it was a parent or something like that. Like I can't even remember exactly what it was. Now I'm trying to look on the back and see like. what it
But
said.
like saying anyone died and it's not true is like so crazy.
Yes,
like
like,
I can't like.
and maybe I'm completely wrong. I could be completely wrong.
Okay,
Maybe,
hopefully you are. 'Cause
I
I'm
hope
like,
I am.
what?
Yeah,
Like,
but I feel like she said something about that, and that's where I was like, Yeah, that's the line.
Yeah,
I think that's the line.
yeah, you're like, no, I definitely can't.
They did have really good books at that bookstore, though.
They had
Like, it's
so,
so
many
many,
good books.
yeah.
Not only used books, but so many new books and
Yeah.
like very, very recent books.
Yeah.
And they like all looked amazing. I wanted so many books.
I know, me
and we
too.
literally could not. We just did not have the time.
I know, and
Like,
they didn't let us film either, which that's the
Yeah.
first time that that's happened to me
I can't believe that.
in any bookstore.
Wow.
Like, just, yeah, like, they were like, yeah, sorry, like, you can't film. And well, the guy, he said, you can email our, like,
he wanted me to like call some like
He's like, you can call
communication
them in.
line.
And
I was like,
you're like, oh, well, can I have their number? He's like, well, they're not available till Monday.
Exactly.
I'm like,
I
well,
was
why'd you
okay,
tell me
well,
that?
You know what? I can't even do it anyway.
He said all filming has to be approved
Yes.
or something by this person, but they're not here till Monday or something.
Yes.
I was like,
But the
okay.
thing is, like, I, like, before, not last summer, but the summer before,
Mm-hmm.
I did so many New York City vlogs.
Yeah.
And they have told me that so much.
That's wild.
It's so weird. And in New York City, you would not think
No,
that.
because like people are just like out. There's so many
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And that's never happened to me because I feel like being in a smaller area, like people literally don't care. Like
And that's why I'm so surprised, because, like, you're out more than me.
Yes.
And you're saying nobody has...
They-
I get told this all the
it's
time. Like,
never
literally.
never happened to me ever. This is the
Wow.
first time it's ever happened where someone was like, "Hey, you should put
That's
your camera
crazy.
down."
Like, it
Yeah.
literally happens to me all the time.
That's wild.
All
See,
the
I
time.
would be stressed because, like,
Yeah.
so when we were in there, like, after they said that, we're like, dang, well, we can't film, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to have to, like, not do that. And I feel like the whole time, I just kind of felt, like, weird. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, like,
Yeah,
oh,
the stress of it.
is he going to be, like, watching us? Like, I was just, like, I was a
Exactly.
little nervous. And it
Yeah.
kind of, like, changes and taints the experience a little bit. So.
Absolutely. And the
Yeah.
only reason why, like, I didn't feel it so intensely
It's
is
'cause
because
it
it happens to
happens,
me
yeah.
all the time. Like, when it initially happened to me, it was like my own local Barnes and Noble, and I usually go there all the time, spend so much money there all the time.
Oh,
But then when
I'm
that started
stressed.
happening to me, and like, you're excited to film, like, this is a
Yes.
place you love to go
Yeah.
anyway.
And you love talking about books.
Yes,
like, you're
not
yeah.
doing anything crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally just talking about books. And then when someone deflates you like that, it's just so, like,
Yes.
it just takes the joy out of it. Then you
Yes.
don't even want to be there. But then you're there because you're like, you're not going to make me leave.
Right, and
Yeah.
like we want to show you guys the books. Like we want you guys to be a part of the
Literally,
experience, and
yeah.
like the only way to have you be a part of the experience is to film it. So
Exactly.
like, yeah. But it is nice that we got like 2 books that because we kind of had to like rush. Obviously,
Yes,
we were going to
definitely.
Pasta afterward, so we didn't have as much time there as we wanted. Mostly because we started talking while we were
No,
there.
we were talking so much. But like, I genuinely enjoy it. And like,
Me too.
I have never had friendships where I couldn't even realize how much time went by. No, literally, it's like the best thing ever. Like,
we
it
talked
means
for
so
like
much
2
to
hours
me.
at the coffee house, and then we
Yes.
talked for 2 hours at the bookstore.
And we didn't even know. And we talked 2 hours here.
Yes!
Like, what? What do you mean for 6 hours we've been talking to each other? Like, it
Literally.
just doesn't make sense. But you don't even realize the time has gone when you have, like, quality friends around.
Yes.
And that's, like, been the best part of this experience. Like, learning them from, like, the trip before. And then realizing, like, that wasn't just a fluke. Like, just
like
this
this
vibe.
Yes,
Like,
that's the vibe. That's
literally.
how it's always gonna be.
Exactly.
We all want to go on like another trip, so
Yes.
we're already planning like
Yes,
something else
absolutely.
because this weekend was not long.
Not long enough at all. Like, how is the day already
I
gone?
know.
Like, what do you mean it's almost 10 o'clock? Like, I just
so
don't understand.
sad.
And you're, like, leaving first thing in the morning.
Literally,
Like,
yeah.
it's just so crazy. I feel like time has gone by so fast, but I had so much fun
Me
today.
too. And
Like,
the fact that
literally.
we saw each other a month ago, it really seems like it was way longer than that.
It's so crazy. And then, like, not only that, it did feel really long, but as soon as we saw each other, it was
Yeah.
immediate. It was
It
just, like,
literally felt
right
like
back.
yesterday.
Yes,
Yeah.
literally. So,
I think you'll actually I don't know if I'll I don't know if I'll say you'll like this one.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go about this book. So I was just looking at it. But this book is like no spice, so
Okay,
feel
yeah,
like
and
you
I
aren't-
hate
Yeah, you're not a
extra
big
spice.
spice person. I haven't
Yeah.
read it, but I've read her book, The Cheat Sheet, and it's like a very, very fluffy. If you're trying to go into something that's very like Hallmark-esque,
Yes, that's what I
no
love.
spice, like
Yeah.
it's just gonna be like the vibes. I feel like her books are like that.
And for me, like, I don't mind spice, but it has to be intentional and it has to
Yes.
make sense.
Yes.
But I feel like a lot of the popular books now, for me personally, like, they just don't make sense. Like, I
No.
feel like it's so unnecessary and it's just there just to be there.
Yes, well,
and I don't like that.
You know, I was telling you I recently read Binding 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that book, they don't even kiss until, I think there's 600 pages. They kiss at like page 400.
Wow.
And that's like all that they do.
Really?
Yes, it's like if you guys haven't read that series, like they, Taylor, she was telling me, that's my other friend, you guys already met her, whatever. Anyway, so she's already read the second book, and I asked her like if there's more spice in that one. She's like, yeah, there is, but she feels like the first one was a slow burn, so you could really get to know them as friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so like,
and I love
we
a
need
slow
more
burn.
books like that.
Yes,
we need more books where like
absolutely.
the characters who fall in love, we actually see them as friends, and he like protects her and stuff.
I
in the
love
book. I know. He's like, nothing's gonna happen to you, like. And genuinely, he just cares about her as a person before he like cares about her physically.
I love
so it just,
that.
Oh, it's so good.
And I think that like I gravitate to that so much more because like that's how I would want my real relationship
to start
be.
like with a friendship and someone deeply caring about you.
And I feel like, I don't know, just personally, I feel like when they just start off so physical, I feel like how can you get to know me?
Yes.
Like, you know, like we already started so far ahead. Like, how are we going to backtrack so that you actually know me and actually value me as a person?
And like how as the reader can I like root for you if I only know your relationship in the bedroom?
Exactly.
You know? Like I'm like, you
Exactly.
haven't even went on a date yet.
Yes,
Like all I
like-
see is you guys like hooking up.
Yeah, and like I think lust is a good thing in a very healthy dose amount, and like when it's very intentional and you're like, I'm fighting with this one thing, but I also love them for their personality. When like the duality is there, I love that because like that's natural,
right?
But when it's all of one thing, then it's like, okay, well, what are we talking about?
100%. Like I feel like if I were to read like a very spicy book, because I do read like some books that are spicy, and like if I read a book with spice, it needs to have equal amounts of like depth of their conversations, their dates, their like, just like. He gazed at her and he like saw into her soul. Like, I need that.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
I need that.
Yeah. Because I think that like when a lot of people read romance, they read that because that's something that they want in real life.
Yeah.
And so when I go to read romance, I try to think of myself as not the main character, but like I want to see
what
myself.
would you want?
Exactly. Yeah. And so I go in with that mentality. So then when it doesn't align, I'm like, okay,
like,
well, it's just literally like I'm just like I can't connect to this character. I can't connect to their relationship.
Yeah.
So then what is the point?
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's just how I feel about romances. And I feel like not a lot of them do that now, especially like the really popular ones. It's just like, it's all about that because that's what's popular now.
Yes, I agree. And I do think that like, I don't know, everyone has like their own interests, and I'm sure like everyone who's watching like has their own things that they're interested in like reading. But I feel like for me, I started out like enjoying spice more, and then I feel like my tastes have changed, and I think sometimes people will be the opposite. Well, they'll be like, oh, I don't like this and I do like that. So I mean, I think it's good that it's there for the people who enjoy it, obviously, but I also like that we can all have different interests in books. We don't all have to read the same books or like the same books. Like you love literary fiction, and I love
like that's so true.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what's so beautiful about the reading community is that like we can come from so many different places, but like still find the same value in just reading in general, and like the love of reading. And like maybe you would never have read this book, but like it resonates with me a little bit, and then you try it, and then all of a sudden you love this new genre now 100%. That you would have never read before. And that's what I love so much about reading. Like there's so many books out there that maybe I would never touch, and then someone tells me about it.
Like it's my favorite.
Literally, and that's like exactly what happened to me with Eleanor Oliphant. Like I would have never picked that book up. That was not even on my radar. And then one of my subscribers, I followed her on Goodreads. Like when they follow me, I follow you guys too. And so I followed her, and then she was talking about it, and I was like,
I didn't know that's how you found it.
I swear to God, yes. And then so I saw her talking about it, and she was like, this book is incredible. And so I was just curious, and then I looked it up, and then I read the back, and I was like, wait, this sounds so good. And then I looked it up, and I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot. And then immediately I fell in love, and that book changed my life, like literally changed my life. And so that's why I'm like, I love this community because without it, like, how would I have? How would you have found that amazing book? And like maybe we have done that for someone else. Yeah, and that's why I'm so happy here. Yeah, it's so nice. I love reading.
Me too. I feel like reading and books just like opens up so much conversation, but like
so
in a
much.
very effortless way. Like, oh dang, my camera battery. It's like
damn,
camera's
full. Like dang. Wow. Do you have another battery or?
I just have to delete some. Yeah, I have another battery.
Okay.
So I listen to audiobooks when I'm doing dishes, when I'm in the shower, when I'm driving, cleaning, whatever. So then that way I'm always like, you know, engrossed in a book. And it's I don't really listen to podcasts as much anymore as I used to. And so I just have replaced that with audiobooks.
I love that so much. Like for me, like when I'm doing chores, I don't know if you've heard of Pimsleur. Have you heard of Pimsleur?
It sounds familiar.
It's like a language learning audio thing.
Oh, so do they
I
like
listen to
talk?
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so
and they
smart.
like require you to like answer back in that language.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
Yeah, so that's what I usually do. I usually listen to Pimsleur because I usually am trying to learn Japanese. So I use that, or like I listen to a Japanese podcast. And with a Japanese podcast, it's really hard because like I can only pick up a few words because obviously I'm not like fluent. But with Pimsleur, it's really nice because they take you sentence by sentence to like
and it's
learn
like
it.
slower too.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
and so
so
like I
nice.
understand everything.
How did you find out about that?
Pimsleur, I feel like because I follow so many polyglots or like people who speak different languages. So
I
like,
love how you explain that because I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
It sounds like an alien, like polyglot. Like,
So
is that
like
what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called. So like these are people who speak more than 3 languages. So like I
Like,
follow a ton of
fluently?
them fluently, and that's what's so beautiful. I think that is the coolest
Comment
thing
if
ever.
you're a polyglot. Like,
Yes.
if you're watching and you like speak more than 3 languages, please let me know because I think you're brilliant.
Yes, and not only that, like if you're not a polyglot, what kind of language would you want to learn?
Yes.
if you wanted
Oh my
to learn
God,
a
yeah.
language? Yeah. I think that is like so cool. I think that's the coolest thing that you can do. So I'm always interested in like listening to other people's experiences and like just trying to see their method of learning because there's so many different takes on it, but like you can still get to the same end goal.
Yeah.
So like that's my goal, but like I just need to figure out my real learning ability.
Yeah.
Like what I'm really good at learning and how I'm really good at learning.
The fact that you like take your learning so seriously, though, is incredible because I feel like it's easy to be like, oh well, if I'm in college, I should be learning. If I'm in high school, I should be learning.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm in some kind of like school, I should be learning. But if I'm not, I shouldn't be.
Right,
And I feel like you're always like you're a student of the world. Like you're always wanting to learn.
I feel like the coolest thing to do is to learn a new skill.
Yeah.
And that has always been like on my highest priority of like learning a language, but like actually learning the language. Because I feel like, I don't know, at least in America, like the way that they teach languages is just not very efficient.
Literally so bad.
It's so bad. And it's like
And also the way that I feel like just we are taught in general, I feel like is to not learn, but it's to retain information, to like memorize it for a test.
Yes.
But I feel like for you, like you're really wanting to immerse yourself in like the culture itself. So like you have to learn it backwards and forwards.
And like I just unlearning how I've been learning has been a lesson in itself. So difficult. It's so difficult. But then
you're
like
not studying for a test, you're learning it so you can actually
because I genuinely want to know it. But then it's like when you have learned one way your entire life, it's so hard to undo that.
Yeah.
And then to not only undo that, but then find a new way that's efficient for you.
Yeah.
It's so hard. So like most of that has been that. But now I genuinely feel like I've gotten to a point where I have a steady routine. I understand what works for me at least. And now that I'm using that, now I just have to do the work to learn it. Yeah. So I feel like maybe this time next year. It's like one of my things that I genuinely want to do this year, and I find so much joy in it. So like usually when I could be listening to a podcast or an audiobook, I listen to Pimsleur or I listen to like a podcast. Yeah.
That's so smart. Look at you. She's literally
I love
brilliant.
it. Stop.
Well, what are you reading?
Well, currently, as you guys know, Harry Potter has me in a literal chokehold. Like I cannot fathom reading anything else. And it's crazy because they literally picked my
What are you
March
on? Are you
TBR.
on book 6?
I'm on book 6, yeah.
That's wild.
And like these books are so thick. These are some of the thickest books I've ever read in my life. But I'm breezing through them because I love the storyline so much. And there's no romance, there's no like literally nothing. But a mystery and like you solve.
Do you think that's why you're excited to pick up Powerless? Because you're like in the fantasy, like she's in her fantasy era.
Yes. And not only that, like it was just such a super big thing for so many people that I just completely missed out on.
Yeah.
And now that I'm going back, I genuinely thought it was going to be one of those things where it's like, I'm reading it, but like, I've outgrown it.
Yeah.
But it's not the case whatsoever. It is so good. The storyline. Really? And I genuinely do not see like the twists and turns that she has. Genuinely.
Wow. Even after all these years?
Well, like I was never spoiled. Thank God.
Okay, that's good.
But like, even then, like, I always try to figure it out myself. And I have not figured out a single thing, like, at all. Yes. And this book has had me crying. It has had me laughing. Like, literally, it is so good.
How many books are there?
I think there's 7 in total, but there's also an additional 8.
So you're almost done.
I can't. I literally can't. But it's like one of those series where it's like you can't read fast enough, but then you can't read slow enough.
Because you want to savor it.
Exactly. Like I want to savor it, but I also want to know what's gonna happen. So it's got me in a choke.
Oh my god, you're making me.
But
I feel like anytime
so
someone
good.
like reads a book that gets them this excited, it makes me want to read it too.
And like I genuinely have not felt this excited about a book since like Twilight. Like that era. Like yes. And I'm not a series person. Like I always say I'm not a series person because with series I feel like
get bored kind of.
Not only that, like it's so easy for them to mess up the series. And then like you can fall in love with a character in one book and absolutely hate them in another.
Yeah, like book 2, what happened?
Yeah, exactly. And it makes you mad because it's like I'm already in love with this world. Why are you changing it so much? Yeah. But like every book has been better than the last.
With Harry Potter, is every book about him?
It's about him and his friendships and like it's like important morals that you learn.
But it's not like, you know how some books it'll be like one book's about this character, next book's about this other character.
Oh no, then it is.
So it's all like him, but his friendships are in there, but it's all his story. Okay.
Well, like it's all his story, but like his friendships are so important to his story. So like it's all these other different like layouts and like different mentalities from all these other characters, but like you're really focusing on Harry's story.
I'm surprised that you're like loving a fantasy.
I'm not a fantasy person. Like I do not read fantasy, and this series has had me in a choke.
Okay, comment below what series is a good series for someone who loves Harry Potter. Like like the next thing to step into.
Yeah, you know what a lot of people have been telling me? Percy Jackson.
Really?
Yes, like everyone has said that. And like as I mentioned before, like I've read the Percy Jackson series when I was younger, but like I never finished it. And now that I'm in this like YA fantasy,
now you're like, I
gotta read it. Yeah. So like I genuinely feel like that's gonna be my next read.
You
like
should.
All of the Percy Jackson series. Have you read that?
No.
before?
Did you ever read Divergent series? I never read that
Oh my
either.
god, no, but I saw the movie and I love the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I never like Divergent, Hunger Games, like none of that.
Wait, you never read Hunger Games? No, that series is so good.
Really?
It is so good.
See, I think I was just past the cusp of when those books were like big. And so I think in my head I was like, oh, because I'm the young adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in my head I was like, oh, that's like young adult. Because you know when you get to that point, and I don't know if anyone else was like this, but like I went from like high school to college, and I feel like in early college I was like, oh, I can't read these books anymore.
Yeah,
like
I was like that too.
Yeah, I'm like I need to read like adult books, but
Yeah.
then you realize it's like all books are books. Like you should be
Exactly.
able to read whatever you want.
Exactly.
I as an adult could read middle grade if I want. Like it doesn't
Literally.
matter. It's a book.
Literally.
But I feel like for me in college I was like, oh, I need to read like adulty books, so I shouldn't read like YA. And I think that's when like a lot of those they weren't coming out, but they were getting popular.
Absolutely. And not only that, like I feel like you have to unlearn that too. And realize like reading is supposed to be fun.
Yeah, so it's like whatever makes you happy, and like if you don't like it, then you don't like it. But if you enjoy it, like read it. It doesn't matter. Like
exactly. And so I think that's why I was so apprehensive to read Harry Potter. Because I was like, I kind of missed that boat. Like I don't think I'm gonna relate to it anymore.
You're like, oh, like everyone liked it when they were younger, but not anymore. But you're
completely
obsessed
wrong.
with it.
Completely wrong. It's been so fun. Like
has it been hard to get into other books?
Absolutely.
Really?
Like,
Because all you want to read is that?
Really, like, I feel like it's homework to read other books now. And I have not felt like that in
What?
so long.
That's when you know you love the series.
Like, usually I've noticed before, like, that I really have never been into another series since Twilight. Because, like, other books, I'm like, okay, well, I read enough today. I feel good. Now I'm like, I can't read enough. Like, I need to
love
know.
that insatiable hunger when you're like, I can't get.
Exactly.
You just like want to eat them all up.
And not only that, I'm like, when I'm about to go to bed, I always read before I go to bed anyway, but like, now I'm like, okay, I have to go to bed. I need to put this book down. Like, I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Like, I need to put this book down. And I haven't felt that feeling since Twilight. And I'm like, okay, I love it here. Like,
oh my God!
It's so good. I love it so much. Because you love romance so much and you're genuinely not into fantasy, I'm not sure if you will love it, but I was not into fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, I am not into fantasy, but I am obsessed with this series. So I feel like I'm 50-50 with you loving it. I don't know, like, which way you'll be.
And I don't know either, because like, again, for an example, I read Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
And I did not think that I was going to like it.
Yeah.
But I did. I really liked it. And then I was like, okay, let me pick up Iron Flame because like I love Fourth Wing so much. I cannot get myself to read Iron Flame. Just
have you
'cause,
started it at all?
I haven't started it at all.
Oh,
no.
okay.
And I can't get myself to read it. And I think it's just because even though I enjoyed Fourth Wing, I just love romance.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I will say though, is it? Iron Flame. Iron Flame.
That's when you know we're getting tired.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
oh, what is it?
Exactly. Iron Flame does have the romance from Fourth Wing, but it's nowhere near as pertinent. And I do feel like the Iron Flame book was much less thought out than Fourth Wing. I just felt like I just felt like it was maybe rushed, and I felt like she didn't put in enough time to really develop those characters, and they were arguing about the same thing for the whole book, and it was very exhausting.
That would be frustrating.
Yes.
I would like get so tired of that so fast.
Yes, exactly. And so like initially when I was first reading it, just the excitement of reading it, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a 5-star.
Yeah.
And then slowly I had to keep taking down stars. I'm like,
no.
my yes, and I was like, oh my
What did you
god.
end up rating that one?
I think it was a 3-star.
3?
Yeah, and initially, like when I first read the first book, that was a 4-star for me.
Yeah,
and I
that's what it was
could
for me,
not
too.
fathom that it would be lower for the next book. But genuinely, I just felt like I don't know.
That's just what it was.
Yeah, and like she just kept like I want you to read it and I want to see your opinion.
I don't know.
I know,
That
yeah.
book is so thick. And
It is
I've
very
never like DNF'd a book. Like I will, if I start a book, I almost always finish it.
Same. Y'all know.
Yeah. And like so many people are like, oh, you should DNF. And I'm like, I already paid for the book. Like, I paid $30 or whatever for this book. So like, and I also always think like, because there have been a lot of books where I'll get like halfway through and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And then I get to the end and it really turns it around for me.
Yeah.
So like, I always think, what if I had never got to the end of that book? Like it wouldn't have turned it around for me. So I don't know. And usually again, those books don't end up being 5 stars, but they still end up being like really good books because
worth
that
reading.
ending and worth reading. Yeah. So I don't know. I always just like, and that also I feel like if I were to DNF a book and someone was like, hey, did you read this? And I'm like, oh, I like started and didn't finish it.
Yeah.
They'd always be like, oh, well, you just missed this part. Like if you got here, you would have loved it.
Your opinion's no longer valid.
Right,
So it's
yes.
like, let me finish it so that I know that I don't like it, and then I can tell you why I don't like it.
Yes,
that's
have
another reason why.
A full like spectrum of what this book is about.
Exactly, yeah. And
Speaking
I think
of
that's
books
why.
that you like though,
Yes.
or that I like, I think that you would.
Yes,
really like
so
this
you're
one.
currently reading My Dark Vanessa. How
Yes.
do you feel about it?
You guys know I'm a romance girl. Like I love this book.
Wow.
Love this book.
And why do you feel like you love it so much? And it's not romance, right?
It's not romance, no. So it's about a girl who, and it's told in past and present timeline.
Mm-hmm.
The girl, she is like groomed by her teacher. He's like 40.
Wow, I didn't know
And
that.
yeah, he's 40 and she's 15. And she's like at a boarding school.
Wow.
Yeah, and he like grooms her for years. And then you see that in the past timeline, and then in the present timeline, you see him being accused by multiple other women, saying that he did the same thing to them.
Wow.
Yeah, so the whole story is told from her perspective, but she doesn't feel like she was ever abused.
Exactly.
So it's interesting because I feel like usually in books you kind of will see the perspective of someone who has been through something like that, but they like are well aware as adults that like that was messed up. But her, even as an adult, she's like still having a hard time coming to terms with things like that because of all the years. So I don't know. I really am enjoying it. I think it's just she's an interesting character because it's showing why this happens so often, like to younger women, younger men, like how easily it is to be groomed by someone, how people can slip through the cracks in the system. Like it is so good.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm very
surprised. Yeah, I've been picking it up and I'm like, I don't want to put it down. Like it's like one of those books. And then I'm also reading a love song for Ricky Wilde. I'm barely in this. I'm literally on page 10.
I love that you can read like 1,000 books at once. Like I literally cannot do that. It's like a superpower.
Thank you. I think it's because they're all different. So this one is not a romance. This one is a romance.
Okay.
Granted, I'm only 10 pages in, so I'm not very far.
And what's that story about?
So this one is the one that's like, it's kind of magical realism between Harlem, where it's like past and present in Harlem, and the girl, her whole family, they all own a funeral home.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're like, great.
I did not expect you to say that.
You're like, you thought it was something else. Yeah, it was very interesting. They all own a funeral home, but they're all like stupid rich. Okay. And I guess they pass down like their franchise or like their funeral homes to their children whenever they get older. So the one girl, she is supposed to like take on this funeral home, and she's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Like I actually love making floral arrangements, so I want to like be a florist. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, you need to continue like the family tradition of being like a funeral home, whatever, person. And so that's not the technical term, but you get what I'm saying. So she's like, I don't want to do that. So in this, you get a lot of her, and this is, I feel like in Tia Williams' books, you just do get a lot of like outside the romance, but you get a lot of like her family and stuff, but also there's like a romantic love interest in this. And there's also supposed to be like a magical realism part, which I haven't gotten to or anything. Yeah, literally. I'm like, why is my throat hurt? Literally. Yeah, so anyway, this one is supposed to have like some magical realism in it. I feel like I'm definitely gonna have lost my voice.
Same.
Like I can literally feel it like cracking. So then there's that. And then this one I haven't started, but I always like to bring a thriller because sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm not in the mood for any of these books. I'm in the mood for a thriller. And when I'm in a mood for a thriller, I have to drop everything and like pick up that thriller. Yeah. So this is about a girl who, she was 16, she has facial deformity, she accuses 4 boys in her class of an unthinkable crime, and the community is torn apart because they can't decide is she telling the truth or is she not.
Why do they not think that she's telling the truth?
I think it's a courtroom thriller, so you get both sides, where both sides look like there's truth on both sides.
Ooh, I
think
that.
as the reader, the thrilling part is like you don't know what the truth is until the very end. So yeah, and I've never read a courtroom thriller, so because they're very different from regular thrillers, and I feel like regular thrillers, they take you like throughout a whole story of like what's happening, and they do that in courtroom thrillers, but it's more in like past timeline as they're telling the story in the courtroom. So yeah, this is my first courtroom thriller. Like the words look so big, like I'm like, this is so easy to read. Yeah, so anyway, that's what and this is less than 300 pages, $2.95.
That sounds
so I have those
good.
3 books, and then on my Kindle, I am reading, or not reading yet, but I plan on reading Broken Clocks by Danielle Allen. Her writing just has like a lot of dialogue. It's fun, it's short. So I'm like, if I, because these are more like, these two, this is a heavier book for sure. And this one is heavy, but it's not like heavy on the romance. Like, and I already knew that.
Right.
So I'm like, if I get to the point where I want to read like a very heavy on the romance type book where it's like all romance and only romance, I'll pick up that one. So,
Okay.
so anyway, I'm always reading 3 to 4 books.
Oh my god, it's insane. Like I tried that initially and I just found that like I don't have the I'm a tunnel person. Tunnel vision type of person. I need to go to bed.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too. I'm like, dang.
And
What
so,
time is it?
I have no girl, it is 11. This is way past our bedtime.
See, but this is what happens when we talk. Like we literally start talking and we're like, what time is it? It's like, oh my god, it's been 3 hours. Like,
wow. And like the pasta
crazy.
making class ended at 9:30. Can you believe it? Like what were we doing all of that time?
Yes.
Like I don't even understand. But as I was saying, like I'm a tunnel vision type of person. So like when I do one thing, I need to do that one thing. Yeah. And then finish that.
And do the next thing.
Yes, exactly. Because I initially tried to like read multiple books and I just could not finish any of them because I'm like I just feel so torn. I feel like I'm in a different like book every single time, and I just changed my mindset, and like I couldn't even really focus on the book. So I'm like, okay, this is just not for me. Like it's just not.
And I feel like it's not for everyone. Like you could so easily like get distracted and like and not finish any of them.
Exactly. And like initially I'm like, okay, that makes so much sense. I need to read multiple books, but actually I cannot. Like I literally cannot, or I just won't finish anything, and then I feel overwhelmed. And then it feels like,
and you're like, I have too many.
Exactly. And then it's like I feel like I have so many unfinished projects, even though it's reading and it's supposed to be fun, but like also,
when it's that many, it could be stressful.
Exactly. And then I'm like, okay, I need to just step back, pick one that I like, and then just read it. And I found that I am definitely that kind of person. So like now that I've been reading, I've been trying to obviously like finish the Harry Potter series, but also like I want to read the books that you guys have told me about. And so initially, like now I only read Harry Potter when I'm either on my lunch break at work or I read at night. And then if I'm not reading during those times, then I read like the books that you guys have told me about. So right now I'm literally on the last like maybe 20 pages of the book that Lynette picked out, which is A Certain Hunger, which is about cannibalism. It's about this woman who's like a foodie who like starts eating people, and like literally so crazy. But the thing is, like, it reminds me a lot of American Psycho, so I'm not like very on it right now. But like,
but you
is
least
an
you're trying
interesting
it,
story.
and it's different,
Exactly.
yeah.
And it's not something that I would have read otherwise. So
Yeah.
like it's nice to be outside of my
Yeah.
bubble and like my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And as I'm finishing that, the next book that I'm going to start is Untethered Soul, and that was the book that
I've heard that's so
Alexis-
good.
Yes, that's the book that Alexis told me about. And like I read the first few pages on my actual birthday, and I was like, wow, I genuinely love this. Like I can already
Really?
tell that I'm gonna. You know how sometimes you just know.
Yes.
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 And like that gave me that feeling.
I
So I'm
feel like
okay.
usually when you have that feeling, you're like, yeah, it's for sure gonna be a 5-star.
Yes,
It's like I need to
yes.
read it at the right time. Like let's get rid of
Exactly.
these other books.
Yes.
Like finish that so I can be like
Exactly.
honed in on this one.
Absolutely. And like I read like the first 30 pages,
Mhm.
and that's still like a good amount to
Yeah.
like, figure out what it's gonna be about. And even after that, I was like, I'm gonna love this book.
Really?
Like I already have that feeling, so I'm excited to get to that book. Because like right now, I'm just like trying to get through the book that
Yeah.
I'm currently reading, but like. I feel like it's gonna be like a 2.5 star book,
Yeah.
but this one I feel like it's gonna be close to a 5 star.
And that's almost like it's an even better feeling when you come from a really like not your favorite book
Right.
going into like one that you're obsessed with.
yes, or like you know
You know you're gonna
yeah,
like.
exactly.
It's like, ooh, you're probably just itching. to get to it.
Exactly, yeah. And that's like the most magical thing about reading, when you know that you're excited about
Yes.
just reading words on a page. Like
Yeah.
how insane is that? Like
How insane is it that we can like feel so many feelings just from words on a page?
crazy.
Like cry, like
yes.
literal tears coming down from our face from words on a page. Like
Literally. It's
it's
so
just crazy.
magical. Like I feel like in a world that's so full of chaos constantly and like
Yes.
constant moving parts, it's so nice to detach sometimes and just find a book that like
Yes.
really resonates with
You're
you.
getting me excited to like literally rub my feet together and
Yes,
start reading tonight. Like I'm gonna
yes,
be
yeah.
like just
That's
in
like
the
what we've
bed.
been saying. Like that's what we're most excited about is just getting to read, going
Yes.
to bed,
Going
and getting
home,
to
getting to read, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is so
I know
fun.
it was so fun. We have to do this again,
I know.
like so soon.
I love your Teddy Blake bag, by the way.
so
It's
much.
so
oh my god,
cute.
it's like my favorite thing. It's like
I love
such a
the
cute
color
like
of
New York
it.
City woman, but
Yes.
like bag.
No, I want to
I
get
love
one.
it.
It's
Yeah,
so cute.
it's so adorable.
Yeah, I love
And I feel like this like adds a pop of color with your outfit because I usually wear just like neutrals.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, wait, I'm here. I'm trying.
I'm doing my best.
Literally.
Well, I don't know if I'll probably see you guys tomorrow morning. So, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed because my voice is literally like,
oh my god,
I can
same.
hear
I
it
have to go to
cracking.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
you
still
still have
have
a
so
long
much-
drive to go home.
I literally have to take an hour train and then I have to go get my car and then at
And
least it's only 10 minutes away.
What?
It's 11.
12.
Yeah, 11, 12. All right, guys.
All right, bye.
I'll see you tomorrow. We're looking rough, but I made it back home safely and I had such a wonderful time. I'm just so like filled with love and appreciation for everyone coming out to just celebrate me. Like it was just so sweet and I love all of them. They are genuinely like some of the best people I've ever met. Everyone is so like authentically themselves and they just pour so much love and light into me, and I hope I do the same for them. And it just really meant a lot to me to have such a like meaningful group around me for my birthday. Like I felt like it was one of the coolest birthdays I've had in a while, so I'm really grateful if they're watching. Thank you so much. I love you guys. You know how much I love you. I do want to finish off with showing you my favorite purchase of the day. This bag is nuts. It's King Kong all throughout New York City. I know you saw like glimpses of it last night when I was in Shaughnessy's hotel room, but this is so freaking cool. I love it so much. I think I'm going to use it all the time now when we go to the bookstore. And I also kind of wanted to touch a little bit more on Powerless, which is a very, very popular romantasy, I guess. I think that throughout this year, I'm definitely going to be more into my fantasy era, but I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this because again, I'm always like a little bit nervous with popular books, but she has it too, so maybe we'll read it around the same time and we can just discuss how we feel about it. But I am very excited to read this. I will be giving Beach Read to someone. I think I'll put in a little library, a little free library. But I am excited about this one because I have seen this around different Barnes & Nobles before. I just never really read up on it, and it does sound really cute. So I'm happy with the books that I got, and I can't wait for our next video. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. King Kong!